It started out as a whisper that silently spread among the inner circle of the Duggar family. Jana Duggar had been the dependable figure in the background for many years. She was the daughter who took on duties without complaining, the sister who assisted in raising numerous brothers, and the lady who fans frequently pondered but hardly ever saw take center stage. A top insider now asserted something remarkable. Jana was expecting twins. It was nearly impossible to believe the news. This was a surprise to a family used to surprises. It was pure, unadulterated delight that was just ready to explode into the open, not scandal or controversy. The murmurs increased in volume behind closed doors. Is it true? Would Jana, the oldest of the Duggar daughters, be becoming a mother at last, and with twins at that? The whole family seemed to be holding their breath, waiting for Jana to corroborate the story that would alter everything, and the atmosphere was charged with suspense. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got some absolutely jaw-dropping news coming straight out of the Duggar family. And trust me, you're going to want to hear every detail of this one. The Duggar family was about to embark on a new chapter that promised happiness unlike anything they had ever known. Jana Duggar has been her family's rock for years. She took on duties without complaining and generously donated her time to others. Jana stayed at home, discreetly seeing to the needs of those around her, while her siblings went off to get married, find jobs, and go on adventures. She was the daughter who oversaw household chores, the sister who comforted wailing infants, and the woman who appeared destined to remain in the background of everyone else's narrative. However, there was a strength hidden beneath that calm facade that not many people fully understood. The continuous comparisons to her siblings, the whispers of fans who questioned her future, and the weight of expectations had all been too much for Jana to bear. She never faltered in the least. Her ability to bounce back from setbacks became her defining characteristic. That strength now took on a new significance as the rumored secret of her pregnancy started to circulate. Jana was getting ready to become a mother herself, not simply someone who looked after other people. For the first time, her tale was going to shine brighter than anybody else's because of the years of patience, sacrifice, and silent fortitude that had brought her to this point. At last the time came when rumors turned to reality. With Stephen Wisman by her side, Jana Duggar, who had long been regarded as her family's quiet strength, stood in front of them. At first, her voice faltered, but there was an unmistakable excitement in her eyes. She smiled softly as she revealed the news that would alter her life forever. She was having twins. Time seemed to have paused to honor the gravity of her announcement as the audience became silent. Then, almost at once, the quiet was broken by laughter, tears, and gasps. Jana had been the carer for years, the daughter who bore the duties without complaining, the sister who provided without asking. She was now entering her own story, this time as a mother rather than an assistant. Stephen's delight and joy were evident in every look as his hand closed tighter around hers. More than just baby news, the announcement was a proclamation of love, resiliency, and fresh starts. For the first time, Jana's life was centered around the family she was about to start rather than what she had donated to others. The announcement would reverberate throughout the Duggar household for years to come, marking a time of complete metamorphosis. All eyes were on Stephen Wisman when Jana's comments eventually became clear. His expression brightened with a true gladness that seemed to fill the place. This was the moment that a man who had silently stood by Jana's side, encouraging her through years of inquiries and conjecture, had dreamed about. As he drew Jana in closer, Stephen's voice was steady but full of emotion, and his smile grew. He talked about his appreciation, the blessing they had received, and the future he could already see coming, two small lives that would unite their love in the most remarkable way. The announcement was more than just baby news to Stephen. It was evidence that they had reached this stage with perseverance, faith, and dedication. His joy spread throughout the family, causing them to laugh and cry. Stephen was ready to accept the responsibility and happiness that came with becoming a father in that moment, and he was more than just a spouse. His delight seemed to fill the room, and Jana's heart grew when she realized she wouldn't be traveling alone. They were beginning a new chapter together, one full of love, promise, and the type of joy that has the power to change a whole family. Everyone in the Duggar home was caught off guard by the surprise. This was a completely different experience for a family used to surprises. The room froze as Jana's words took hold. Parents leaned forward in shock. Siblings exchanged wide-eyed looks, and stillness kept everyone spellbound for a heartbeat. Then the shock gave way to an outburst of emotion, as if a dam had burst. Voices rose in celebration. Tears filled the eyes, and laughter broke out. The family, which was frequently split apart by conflict or overshadowed by controversy, discovered that they were all united by one overpowering emotion, joy. The Duggar household was filled with pure joy for the first time in memory, rather than rumors or anxieties. Jana's news had changed the mood, transforming skepticism into excitement. The family stood together in wonder at the miracle that was taking place in front of them, and the shock of twins, two new lives entering their world, was greater than anybody had anticipated. Emotions erupted as Jana's family came to terms with the news of her twin pregnancy. Siblings who had grown up in her care began to wipe away tears one by one. At last, Jana, the sister who had always supported their tears, led their steps, and carried their burdens, was experiencing her own happiness. Something nearly sacred took over the mood. Hugs were given and received. Voices broke with emotion, and laughter blended with weeping. Jana had dedicated years of her life to helping others, frequently putting her family's needs ahead of her own goals. At this point, everyone was overcome with love and thankfulness as they saw her beaming with joy. It was about Jana being honored and finally taking center stage in a moment that was solely hers, not simply about the babies. A rare and memorable day in the Duggar household was marked by the tears that fell, not tears of sorrow, but tears of pure ecstasy. Jim Bob and Michelle came forward, their faces softened with emotion as the happy commotion eventually subsided. They had seen Jana dedicate herself to the family for years, frequently putting her own aspirations aside to take care of her younger siblings. They were filled with a sense of pride and thankfulness that words could not express as they stood in front of her and heard her announce the arrival of twins. As Michelle held her oldest daughter and whispered prayers of love and courage for the path ahead, her eyes glistened. Jim Bob talked about the blessing these kids would be for the whole family, not just Jana and Steven, in a steady yet kind voice. Jana was enveloped in a cocoon of parental support that she had long deserved, as their words held the weight of tradition, faith, and hope. The blessing was more than symbolic at that precise moment. It was an acknowledgement of Jana's silent sacrifices and a pledge from her parents to support her once she became a mother. With Jim Bob and Michelle's sincere prayers, the twins were already integrating themselves into the family's narrative, and the future appeared more promising than before. As soon as Jana's siblings learned about her twins, the house was filled with supportive words. Jana had been their childhood companion for years. She was the sister who braided their hair before church, calmed their worries at night, and handled turmoil with grace and tolerance. The roles were changing now. Her siblings came up, one by one, promising to help. Even the younger siblings, who had previously been Jana's caretakers, enthusiastically offered to assist with the newborns. Joanna embraced Jana and promised to remain by her side, while Jinger talked about bringing gifts and advice from a distance. It seemed as though the family had united to form a protective circle, enveloping her in strength and love. It was an overwhelming moment for Jana. She had always given without asking, but now she was getting real commitment from people she had raised, not just congratulations. The Duggar siblings were already developing a new type of attachment with the twins, one based on appreciation and a desire to repay the sister who had given them so much. Nobody anticipated that the news of Jana's twins would bring the Duggar family together in a manner not seen in years. It looked as though mutual enthusiasm, hugs, and laughter took the place of previous tensions. For once, The house was alive with a unique sense of unity, rather than being split by rumors or burdened by previous disputes. After drifting apart, brothers and sisters found themselves standing side by side and sharing in Jana's happiness as though it were their own. The twins evolved into more than just unborn children. They were a representation of recovery and a reminder that joy might still unite the family. The Duggar home felt complete in that instant. Every heart was touched by the happiness of Jana's news, which restored ties that had weakened over time. The family was standing together for the first time in memory, their love and excitement outshining any lingering memories. The news became viral outside the Duggar residence. Fans who had been following Jana's story for years, witnessing her subtly help her siblings while staying in the background, were shocked by what they heard. Posts of joy, shock, and sincere congratulations flooded social media. The announcement of twins felt like a dream come true for the audience, who had long questioned whether Jana would ever become a mother. Fans from all over the nation sent in messages, expressing their happiness at seeing Jana finally get her own moment in the spotlight in addition to honoring the babies. The response on the internet was electrifying. Even seasoned critics were caught up in the joy of the reveal, and comment sections were flooded with affection and trending hashtags. Jana's story became a ray of hope in the digital age, demonstrating that the most exquisite shocks might come from calm fortitude and patience. The Duggar family was making news for reasons other than scandal or turmoil for the first time. Rather, they were honored for a little moment of unadulterated happiness, and Jana was at the heart of it all. Later that night, Jana found herself sitting in a peaceful corner of the home with her hands gently resting over her heart after the excitement had subsided into quiet talk. She had pondered for years if this day would ever arrive, whether she would become a mother, and whether she would ever experience the joy of bearing her own children. Her thoughts turned to the many evenings she had spent rocking her younger siblings to sleep, the mornings she had spent doing chores, and the years she had spent watching others go on while she was left behind. Even if those recollections were burdensome, they now seemed to be stepping stones that had brought her to this exact spot. Jana smiled softly and told herself that the wait had been worthwhile. In addition to being a blessing, the twins developing inside of her served as a reminder that quiet strength and patience may lead to the most exquisite surprises. She was going to start her own tale as a mother, not merely the carer or the assistant. For the first time, Jana found comfort in such contemplation. The destination was more radiant than she could have ever dreamed, despite the lengthy trek. When the twins' reality set in, the Duggar household swiftly became a hive of activity. Cribs were put together side by side in anticipation of the young ones who would soon arrive. Baby clothes were placed neatly into drawers, and tiny socks were carefully linked together. The family, who had been used to getting ready for new infants for a long time, had to double their efforts. They needed 2 strollers, 2 sets of blankets, and 2 of everything else. Each of her siblings was anxious to contribute, and Jana observed in silent wonder as they did. Some brought gifts, some gave counsel, and some just stayed around and reveled in the moment. While this was going on, Stephen poured himself into the preparations, his heart full of anticipation for the life ahead, and his hands steady as he built and arranged. There was a sense of awe in every aspect. As arrangements were made, the nursery, which was decorated in gentle hues and brimming with laughter, came to represent hope. The preparations were as more than just a practical exercise for Jana. They served as a concrete reminder that her long-held desire was finally coming true. The family was prepared to embrace the 2 small lives that were on the way. Stephen Wisman turned to Jana with an expression of unshakable loyalty as the euphoria of the announcement subsided. Despite his calm demeanor, he spoke with conviction, vowing to support her at every turn of the road. He promised to be her companion during the restless nights, her pillar of support during her tired moments, and her delight in the innumerable blessings that twin motherhood would bestow. Stephen's remarks were a statement of love and accountability rather than just assurance. He talked about defending their expanding family and how much he loved Jana as his wife and now as their child's mother. His pledge was solid and true, the kind of dedication that creates a foundation that can withstand anything, rather than sweeping or dramatic. Jana's heart grew grateful as she listened. She had dedicated so much of herself to others over the years, but now she had someone promising to do the same for her. She found confidence and solace in Steven's assurance that they would face the joys and difficulties of raising twins together. A new chapter characterized by love, partnership, and family began when that moment cemented their relationship. The Duggar family had gone through various phases, including years of happiness and controversy, as well as times of success and hardship. But when Jana revealed that she was expecting twins, it seemed like a brand new beginning, one that was more promising than the previous. It was about transformation, not just about infants. The family started to feel that this was more than just another addition to their already growing home, as the preparations and enthusiasm increased. Jana's path to motherhood represented a sea change and an opportunity for rejuvenation. The twins stood for optimism, a new beginning that promised reconciliation and healing. This chapter was very personal to Jana. She had been in the background for years, but now she was taking the lead in her own narrative. Her happiness turned into a shared light for the family, healing past scars and serving as a reminder of what was really important. Once characterized by obligation and expectation, the Duggar household was now teeming with hope for the future. As Jana and Steven got ready to receive their kids, the family was about to embark on a new chapter that would be full of love, joy, and the chance to change their history. The Duggar family experienced a thrill unlike anything they had ever experienced as the days went by and the enthusiasm became more consistent. In addition to offering the possibility of 2 new lives, Jana's news changed the mood in the home. Conversations were full of hope, laughter filled the halls, and even old scars appeared to soften in the expectation. Once the quiet carer, Jana now played a central role in the family's narrative. Steven's constant presence served as a reminder that this journey was theirs to share, and her smile radiated a new light that was born of fulfillment and love. They demonstrated that perseverance and faith might result in the most exquisite of benefits by uniting to represent the joy that had long eluded the family. For the first time in Duggar history, the family came together out of pure joy rather than obligation or custom. By bringing happiness into every aspect of their lives, the twins had already come to represent rebirth. One thing became evident as the family gathered around Jana and Steven. This was the happiest conclusion to date, the moment that will go down in their story as the most optimistic one. If you are looking for more Duggar family exclusive gossip, come back to Vogue TV for all your updates. Bye, guys.